Hey guys, thanks for tuning again to the channel. I actually wanted to bring you guys a little something new. Some of you guys may actually have a set of these. These are a retro set of Snap-on flare nut wrenches. So hang tight here. We'll kind of run through the overall design of these wrenches, what makes them unique, why I purchased them, and where you can find a set yourself. So hang in there and let's jump in and we'll start looking at these flare nut wrenches brought to you by Snap-on. So as you can see here, this set goes from 9, and they actually kind of do it a little bit different. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So they do kind of like a hop and skip dance here with these. But ultimately, you're covering yourself from 9 to 21. And if I was correct, there were no skips in these. Correct. So for me, this covers the majority of flare nut style wrenches that I need. For fuel lines, hydraulic lines, you name it, wrenches where you need to get in there and get a lot of bite on a line where you just cannot get a socket onto them. So flare nut wrenches definitely have their place in a mechanic's toolbox. So these Snap-ons for me were an easy choice. I've had these for quite a while now, and I have these, but I also have a couple other sets, and we'll kind of talk about this Husky one here too, because I've used this in the past. But the Snap-on set actually came up at a good time for me when I was needing a solid set of these wrenches to work on. And this set itself is a vintage set. I do not know the exact year that these came out, but I want to say these are pre-1990s, probably maybe even as far back as 1960s, 1970s Snap-on. So these are definitely a vintage tool. But what really drew me to them is, one, the styling. They're very unique. They do kind of like have an I-beam design and feel to them. As you look down the side here, they are actually quite straight down the beam. So very nice construction there. And here's the part numbers. All these have the part numbers on the back. So RXM 1012S. And they actually held a patent back in the day. So obviously that patent is expired by now, but this was very much unique to Snap-on back in the day. Now, the degree on these, I want to say it's closer to 10. I've got a pair of these Husky ones here. We'll pull these in real quick. You can see the Huskies going the wrong way. Huskies are probably closer to 15 degree, maybe a little bit more. So maybe that's maybe closer to 20 degrees on the Huskies. So design-wise, very nice design. The degree, a little bit more on the minimalistic side. If you need something with a greater offset, there are other manufacturers such as this Husky that can get you into maybe a tighter angle for what your application is. But for me, these have worked out quite well. Now the head, I went ahead and actually measured this. It came out, because this is a 10 millimeter side, 10.2. I was using my calipers. So actually fairly tight. And these have been used. I'll let you take a quick look up in there. These have actually been fairly well used. Even the chrome's just slightly starting to come off in certain spots. Come on, camera, focus. Here you go. So they've been used well enough that some of that chrome is actually starting to wear itself off. So even at that, these measure at 10.2 millimeters. So still plenty tight. These Huskies were not quite as tight. Actually, let's do a quick check. Let's grab a 10 millimeter bolt here and let you guys see how tight they are. So there's your play with a 10 millimeter bolt. Now for the Snap-on, I would argue that's just a little bit less movement. Now, as far as the head design, it is actually quite a bit thicker. So if you want to get a little more engagement on your nut or bolt, the Snap-on is a thicker design. And even the head, as you look at it here, is significantly thicker. And it's actually kind of offset out a little bit in this casting. So if you want to get in tight spaces, the Husky might be advantageous that way. The Snap-on, though, does have a thicker head. It will get you more bite. I will say, holding the two, I mean, the Husky does feel nice. I mean, it feels like a traditional wrench. So actually, this feels very much like a gear wrench to me, that style. Whereas this boxed off actually feels much nicer. So if you were to be laboring for quite some time on a bolt or multiple bolts, this actually feels much nicer in the hand. It doesn't hurt your hand as much over time. So that is something to take in consideration. But anyways, yeah, this is a little vintage throwback to the Snap-ons. The newer ones are actually quite a bit different. They're more closer in style to, you know, this Husky. And even looking at chrome, you know, looking at the chrome, I don't know if you guys can see here, but the chrome is actually much nicer. It actually has a very clean reflection as opposed to, I believe this Husky's Taiwanese made, which isn't that bad compared to some either Chinese or products built in India. The Snap-on, obviously made in America, but this chrome plating process actually shows itself off camera to be quite a bit nicer. So, and I do like the recesses here. It is nice. It is nice to be able to get your hand around this kind of I-beam design, and it gives you a little bit more grip as you're holding on to it. It also obviously helps to take off a little bit of material, make it a little bit lighter overall than it could be. But yeah, once again, great design. It's a great tool. So anyways, guys, thanks for sticking around. If you like what you're seeing here, please give me a thumbs up or tap that thumbs up button and subscribe, because the more you guys subscribe, the more you guys like these videos, the more I will keep producing them. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.